Ah, there we are. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good day. Whatever time it is, whatever day it is where you're watching, this is Gwen Lepard on day 87 of 365 days of How Do I Love Myself Today. I'm actually feeling much more back in San Diego, though walking yesterday was actually really helpful. And also the self-care, though I did decide to wait on the acupuncture until later. Hey, Maggie, good to see you there. My guest today perhaps will, I wasn't able to confirm her. Hey, yes, thanks, Maggie. Really good to see you, and good afternoon to you. Still morning here for me. Oh, Egypt, wow, so good to have you here. It's nice to be back in the States. Hopefully I'll get to see you perform again soon, though. Yeah, good morning to you. I think I'm missing the next burlesque brunch. I'll be up in Canada with Maggie. And I still haven't bought my ticket. It's going to cost me now. But now I'm okay with it because I waited, and I needed to know how I was going to do traveling across the date line. Well, it was more for work than for vacation, Egypt. I had an amazing time. That's a good idea. I just have to decide whether I'm going to fly into Detroit and come up that way and do the train, or whether I'm going to fly directly into Toronto. So I got to connect with a couple of people. I'm going to connect with a couple of people and see which is going to be the best route. So it hasn't even been 48 hours since I've been back from flying, literally across the date line and on a plane longer than I've ever been in my life. And I have my energy is good, and I haven't unpacked yet, but I will get to that. I'm still getting to bed pretty late, and then thinking in my head, oh, well, it's actually, when I woke up at 9 o'clock this morning, which is super late for me, I'm thinking, it's only 3 o'clock in the morning there. which, yeah. So I still have that in my head. I just need to flip that switch back to, no, I get up at 6 o'clock Pacific time because that's when I get all of my things done, and I still have more self-care happening today, but also getting back into business. And thank you so much, Egypt. I really appreciate that. I mean, typically, let me tell you, in the past, even just flying back east, I'd be sick for 2 weeks. I mean, literally, I couldn't get out of bed. I'd be dragging. It was really difficult to get back to work and get back to my life. So I'm going to go ahead and post the... it's a technique that an acupuncturist friend gave to me. Well, he's a chiropractor, acupuncturist, and massage therapist, all rolled into one, and he's in Montana. so I don't get to see him anymore, but he still shares information with me. He has a website with tons and tons of newsletters, and so I'm going to share that information. It basically works the acupressure points in the clock of the organs and the meridians at the time of where your destination is. So it gets your body and your systems in alignment with the time that you're going to rather than the time that you're from. And that seemed to really help. Though definitely coming east is more difficult, as I said. Probably if they hadn't said that, it probably wouldn't have been as difficult. But the plane ride was, oh gosh, it was so bumpy. And I just didn't sleep. I watched a ton of movies, and that was a mistake. Next time I will sleep going east for sure. So how am I loving myself today? Today I'm getting back into work, and I just found myself, when I woke up, I was like, wow, I really slept really soundly, and I feel really good, and I feel good in my body. And I've been thinking about, that doing this daily could actually become like an obligation, or, it's like that I'm not really loving myself, that I'm making it more of work than actual practice of love. And so I decided to, watch myself on that, monitor myself on that. And as I was thinking about that, this feeling of warmth came into my belly and came up through my heart and kind of spread out throughout my body, this warmth of self-love. And being able to embody the emotions and not just have them in our head, or not just, like a painful emotion. We're used to what that feels like the knife in the gut and the pain in the heart and the wrenching of loss when we lose a relationship, or not just lose a relationship, but have a relationship that isn't resolved and we're hanging on to it. So that's the work that I do. And I realized that I'm on a 30-day no contact with my former partner, and I realized that I'm looking forward to that day when we can talk, and so there's still attachments there, no matter how many times I clear them, and knowing that the heart, we all have a heart cord with everyone on the planet, and that one's supposed to be there. Oh, yeah, Maggie. So maybe it's that chord that I'm feeling, that connection I'm feeling, and that's a good one. I mean, that's what makes us all one, as we're all one. And so we're all attached by our hearts, and that particular heart chord is good and healthy. It's the other attachments that are not, or in order for us to be clear and be ourselves and have a clean slate to go into all of our relationships with it daily, we need to clear ourselves of the attachments that we put on other people and that other people put on us. And so that's just, just cut the cords every morning, just get those clear. And the woman that I was hoping to have as my guest this morning actually is where I learned that technique from. And Anastasia Chopolis, and it looks like, we won't be talking today, but I will get her confirmed and get her in, because she's really amazing. I co-host a radio show. I think it's actually a video radio show now, once a month, and she's got a lot of wisdom to bring. And at one point in time, I didn't feel like I had wisdom. It's like I'm just gathering wisdom from everyone else and creating my own out of that. In order to create your own piece out of all of the wisdom that's around you requires having wisdom. So I have deep, vast reservoirs of experience and wisdom, and acknowledging that about myself, and being and happy to share it with others. So I guess that's part of what I'm doing here with How Do I Love Myself Today? So Egypt, how do you love yourself today? Maggie, how are you loving yourself today? Whoever's watching this and being quiet, or whoever watches it later, how do you love yourself today? Go ahead and ask that question, and I look forward to seeing your answers. And if you have any questions that you'd rather share of a personal nature, go ahead and PM me, give me a private message, and I look forward to talking with you tomorrow on day 88 of 365 days of How Do I Love Myself Today. You stretched and walked for 30 minutes. That's awesome, Maggie. Good for you. And I encourage you that when you're doing that stretching and when you're walking, feel that feeling of love in your body. Oh, thank you for all the love. You are just so amazing, Maggie. Looking forward to seeing you. And yeah, we'll chat later. And Egypt. Maggie, Egypt, everyone else, myself. And have an amazing day. We'll talk with you tomorrow.